All my friends are like, you need a guy with a car and a job. And I'm like, yeah, but then I got to deal with his wife. Like, it's a whole thing.
Taylor Tomlinson has emerged as one of the most compelling voices in contemporary stand-up comedy, drawing audiences with her raw, introspective humor and sharp observations about the journey through adulthood.
Broke up because he cheated on me in my head, and I could not.
Born in 1993 in Orange County, California, she began her comedic journey at just age 16.
I started in churches when I was 16 because you can't go up in clubs until you're 18.
She developed a style that bridges personal vulnerability with biting social critique.
He was in a frat in college. He's basically a rescue.
Now a voice for millennials and young adults, her comedy speaks for the anxieties, absurdities, and quiet triumphs of navigating a quarter-life crisis.
I know what a basic bitch I was, who was gonna love being engaged that much.
Her work blends her unique comedic philosophy, career evolution, and willingness to address personal and social issues head-on, and her material resonates with her core audience. Her comedic style seems to have a commitment to authenticity.
He's not like, oh, death. Like, he has none of that.
She taps her own life experiences to craft material that feels both personal and universal. Rather than masking her insecurities or struggles, she embraces them, believing that comedy is at its most powerful when it comes from a real place of vulnerability.
You've been married for 26 years, but he dated your 46. Oh, I'm sorry. 46 years, and you dated her twin sister first? For how long? A year? I thought you were gonna be like, we got a malt shake at the diner once, but you were like, I don't know what they did 46 years ago.
Her act often explores the many uncertainties of young adulthood, grappling with themes of mental health, dating, and self-identity in a way that resonates. It invites the audience to see the humor in their own anxieties, making her stand-up both a release and a reflection.
The trick with crowd work is to ask questions that they can answer quickly, and I don't have any of those. Did you guys just like start talking more because you were overseeing her sister, and then it was like, oh, I picked wrong?
In this way, it's not merely entertainment, it's catharsis and connection to those experiencing the same complex emotions and pathologies.
And to your dad, too? He also dated twins? You sick fuck. I don't like this. No. That's one of those things you just hear about, and you're like, well, sometimes that happens. But when you're like, my daddy also did it, no. This is a pattern of behavior. This is a weird-ass fetish.
Much of her relatability comes from her storytelling, which frequently explores the experiences of being in one's 20s.
Had sex with 2 people, 4 if you're Christian.
A time marked by self-doubt, societal pressures, and the expectations to have it all figured out.
Got his mom on the date? Okay, wait. Where was the date? Was it Color Me Mine? Because if it was Color Me Mine, you were asking for that.
Her stand-up addresses this quarter-life crisis with an honesty that's both sincere and satirical.
If someone brought their mom to a date, my first question would be like, how close are you to the Lord? Scale from 1 to 10. Wow, did he ever text you again after you left? Yeah. He did. You guys, the show's over. You go. I just have to figure this out. He texted you after, I had a great time, so did my mom. Thank you for being a good sport about meeting my family. You kind of didn't give me a choice.
In detailing the universal awkwardness of dating mishaps, career worries, and the push to meet arbitrary milestones, she captures the paradox of young adulthood with wit and poignancy.
On this, it looked stupid. I looked like a rescue dog in a Gucci sweater.
This approach isn't simply about highlighting the humor in life's struggles. It's about validating the experience of not having all the answers and offering her audience a sense of solidarity in shared uncertainties.
You said I love you already?
I did once.
You did once? Girl.
A key element of her work is a critique of social expectations, particularly those placed on women.
When did you say I love you?
Like a month and a half.
A month and a half in. Oh! here's the thing. That's usually when people say I love you, right? Like 6 weeks in, people say that, right? 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 Right?
Her comedy often dismantles gender stereotypes, critiques body image pressures, and examines the modern landscape of feminism with a thoughtful and humorous lens.
You somehow have 7 friends. That's unheard of. You're 28, you have 7 friends that all came out with you at the same time. Is it your birthday? No.
By addressing these topics with nuance, she pushes audiences to reflect on the often unspoken contradictions embedded in social standards. Her act uses humor to unearth the absurdities in these norms, encouraging people to question restrictions they impose on themselves. And in doing so, she crafts a brand of comedy that not only entertains, but serves as a powerful social commentary. Moreover, in an age where mental health discussions are increasingly destigmatized, she becomes an advocate for normalizing conversations about mental well-being.
I believe I got depressed on these, right?
She uses her platform to talk openly about issues like anxiety and therapy, not as a means of sensationalizing, but as a way of integrating these discussions into comedic spaces. By framing mental health struggles within a humorous context, she makes these subjects more approachable and relatable.
So nervous. I'm always nervous to babysit. I don't want to ruin her life because, that's her parents.
Her openness creates a welcoming environment for audiences who may be grappling with similar challenges, and it ultimately fosters a sense of community that extends beyond the laughter.
Tissues, babe. You have a hot coworker and a locked phone, so.
She is a master of self-deprecating humor, and she employs it with a specific purpose. Rather than putting herself down, she uses self-deprecating humor as a tool for connection. By revealing her own flaws and insecurities, she enforces a shared experience of imperfection, making it clear that no one has it figured out. This humor style not only makes her more relatable, but also positions her as a performer willing to be vulnerable as she is entertaining and deepening her connection with your audience.
A guy on OkCupid send me an emoji as an opening line.
Her career trajectory reflects her dedication to developing her craft and adapting her comedic voice as she matures. She began performing at the encouragement of her father, who enrolled both of them in a stand-up comedy class following her mother's death.
Like dirty talk, and then they hit you with something in bed, and you're like, nah, that was not approved by corporate. No.
From modest venues to her breakout on national stage, her early experiences instilled her in a resilience and depth that underpins her comedy today. Critics have applauded her ability to blend her sharp social observations with personal narratives.
I'm crazy, all right? I want to be the one, doesn't matter which one.
And she has a particular emotional intelligence and depth that she brings to her performances. Her relatability, particularly with young adults, has been a key factor in her appeal and those who see themselves reflected in her humor.
Well, am I better than everybody?
She exemplifies the power of authenticity and self-reflection. And interestingly, she offers a community where humor and human experiences intersect. By integrating personal and social reflections in her work, she's not only entertaining, but contributes to a broader conversation about the complexities of life and identity.